right, today I've got my hands on the new Haoqi Rhino. Yes, that is the name of this bike. It's about 2,000 bucks. It's got a 1,000-watt motor, but the most interesting thing is obviously how this e-bike looks, right? So before you think I'm gonna say this is the best e-bike ever, it's not. It's super impractical, but it looks super awesome. So before you go and spend a bunch of money on an e-bike, check out our honest review of this Haoqi Rhino. I'll tell you exactly what I think, who it's for, who it's not. Keep on watching to find out more. All right, this is the Haoqi Rhino. As I mentioned, it's about 2,000 bucks. And to be honest with you, it's cool. It's a lot of fun to ride. It's a little impractical, but let me explain a couple of the features of this bike and then we'll go take it for a test drive. Sound good? So this is not a fuel tank. Well, kind of is. It is the battery compartment. It says it has about a 90 mile an hour, that'd be crazy, 90 mile range, which I have not tested it fully to see if that's true or not. Probably gonna be a little bit less than that. Obviously, it changes based on how much pedal assist and how much throttle you use, so your results may vary there. It's got this beautiful, I love the color and the contrast between this and the black saddle. You know, if you really want to get close to someone, you probably could fit 2 people on here. And the spot where the battery usually is, right here, they put a nice built-in storage compartment, little basket that you can put mail in. The first time I went to go try and get mail in this, it was really funny. The package was just like this much too thick to fit in here, but it's a great little thing to go pick up mail, stuff like that. Does have a huge, look at this huge headlight. Boop, boop, boop. I'll do a close-up of that so you can see it, but huge headlight, nice big tires, not quite as big as some of the other bikes like the Rad Rover 6 or the Aventon Adventure. It's got some really good front suspension that I do have locked out, looks like, but I can fix that up and, oh yeah, boom, boom. It's pretty good. And it's just a good looking e-bike, wouldn't you agree? Let's go take this bad boy for a spin. I'll tell you exactly what I'm experiencing. Like I said, it's about 2,000 bucks. You can get it on sale right now. I'll put the best link below. But let's go take this bad boy for a spin. I'll tell you what I think. All right, you can finally see that we have a nice day here in Colorado. Let's go take this Rhino out for a spin. I'll tell you exactly what's going on, what I'm thinking about it, and see if it's the right bike for you. Let's go. So the first thing you'll notice is this bad boy right here. It is hot. It's been out in the sun for a little bit here. It's okay. So I got my shorts on. Whew. All right, let's go take this for a spin. It does have a nice solid kickstand. Now, one thing that you'll notice about this bike is that there is no adjustable seat, which can be a problem if you needed your legs to be at the exact right position, which mine will not be during this test. Everyone always complains, hey, your feet are too low or too high or whatever. I'm just taking this for my first ride. I'm not trying to win the Tour de France, okay? So let's go take this for a spin and I will give you some more information. Back up a little bit. People also ask how I make these videos. This is called the Insta360 Invisible Selfie Stick. That's what this is. Funny name, but it acts like there's a drone here. There is not, obviously. Sorry for my very pasty hands and legs here. It's like the first sun it's gotten in months. All right, woo! This does have hydraulic disc brakes, which are awesome. Help stop this bike a lot faster. I believe they're hydraulic. Let me triple check that before you quote me and yell at me here. Okay, never mind. They are hydraulic disc brakes. I always forget about looking at that. This doesn't have like a fancy horn, it has this little cheesy one, which is funny. It's just hilarious to me. Let's go do this from a dead stop and see how it goes. I'm at 0 miles an hour, obviously. I'm gonna go to pedal assist level 4 or 5. There are 5 levels of pedal assist. There are 7 gears. In most e-bikes, you will only use the highest gear because you can kind of adjust via pedal assist to figure out how fast you need to go. So that's typically how I do it, but occasionally I'll drop down to a lower gear. This one has 7 speed. The throttle is right here. It will not work like almost all other e-bikes if you have the brakes on. So there's the throttle. Let's go see how fast this goes and how quickly it goes, and then I'll also turn around and do a stop test too. Ready? I'm gonna do just throttle here at first. Let's do it. 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 miles an hour, just like that. That's a pretty good pickup in speed for a bike that is like 90 pounds. I'll put the exact weight on here after I'm done filming it, but man, that just gets up and goes really, really easy. All right, let's try this, but let's do a full stop here. Get 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and stop. Nice. That worked out really well. In fact, this bike, because of the weight, will even sometimes peel out when you start it just from a cold start, which is kind of funny. But this bike is a lot of fun. I'm sure you can program it to go faster than the 20 miles an hour. The interesting thing about this in the pedal assist is when you get to the top level, you'll hear the motor actually cut off. Let's get up going. And still going, still going. It'll cut off, and then it'll give you a little boost once you slow down just a little bit, which is kind of cool. All right, another thing that people need to know about with this e-bike is the pedal assist. Now, there's a bunch of different sensors that are out now. There's what's called a cadence sensor. There is also a torque sensor. Torque sensors tend to make it feel more natural, but I'm gonna show you how this bike operates just with riding it, and you'll see that it does have a little bit of just like jolt. It's not a deal killer by any stretch of the imagination, but it is a little bit more sensitive than some of the others are. Let me just show you what I mean. I'm not gonna use throttle at all. I'm on pedal assist at the highest level. Whoa. Whoa, there you go. Oh yeah. See that? Whoa, let's try that again so you can see it better. I was not balanced there at first. All right, so I'm going, 5, and then it kicks up really fast. Of course, you can adjust that, right? You can be down to pedal assist level 1, and let's try it again, lovely. Oh yeah, way more subtle, way more appropriate for what you would be thinking on a normal e-bike. It just is a little bit aggressive. The other Haoqi bike that I've tested was also very similar in that sense, that it was super sensitive. The other thing about this e-bike that I'm gonna show you here next is the torque. It's got 96, if my memory is correct, Newton meters of torque, which is really high for an e-bike. I mean, not the highest, but it's definitely on the higher end of the range of what e-bikes typically have for Newton meters of torque. And so I'm gonna show you this by going uphill. I'll take us a little bit off-road here in just a second, but let's go show you how that looks going uphill. All right, now let's go taste this uphill with our high torque. Let's do it. And I've said this before in some other video reviews that I've done, but this particular hill that I'm about to go on, doesn't look necessarily steep from this angle, which I totally get and understand, but it makes a huge difference. It's actually where you can tell, even if a bike is underpowered, if it has more Newton meters of torque, then it will feel more powerful than it really is. It just means basically that more power is getting to the wheels. Once again, this is not the super steepest hill you've ever seen, but this bike will just go up it. No problem whatsoever. Easy breezy. I mean, yeah. On even other e-bikes that don't have the 1,000-watt, motor or the high Newton meters of torque, You know, it'll make it up the hill, but you'll feel it. That's the one spot you will feel it, but you won't feel it on this bad boy. Not one bit. It's pretty cool. Let's go take this just a little bit off-road to show you what we can do. It's not, you know, it's a pretty decent off-roading e-bike. It's not the best, it's not the worst. It's kind of this unique, like cruiser type style. I mean, kind of think of it as like a cruising, you know, motorcycle or something like that, where it can do a lot of different things. You know, it's not a straight up dirt bike. It's not a straight up cruiser, you know. But this is where I obviously love the pedal assist and the torque and the throttle, because I have to go sometimes kind of fast across the street and it's no problem whatsoever. Zip, zip, zoom, zoom. Let's go take this off-road. How do you do? Woo! It's super muddy over here. I don't know if I want to get that muddy, but we'll take a look. Ooh, yeah, this is gross. I don't feel like getting all super dirty. Let's go take this off-road in another spot and we'll, yuck. Yeah, I'm sure I would handle it just fine. I just don't want to get this bike all dirty. Clean it up. Woo! Ooh, there's that super sensitive pedal assist there. The pedal assist is actually powered by magnets that are little sensors. Whenever it hits the little sensor, it gives more power to the bike, which is kind of cool. And it's a little bit different than the cadence sensor. I mean, with the torque sensor, which uses the actual power in the crankshaft. This is an aluminum crankshaft. I don't know if that's good or not, but it works really well so far, huh? Yeah, pro tip on e-bikes especially, make sure you make eye contact with people in situations like that, because they will not necessarily see you, and yeah, ugh. I've had a couple of close calls where if I did not stop and act like they didn't see me at all, they just don't expect you to be going as fast as you're going. Now let's tackle this hill. Let's see if we can take it up, you know, 7 gear, top level of pedal assist, no problem, going 20 miles an hour. I'm sure you can unlock this e-bike to go faster in other situations, but I mean, 20 miles an hour is pretty good. I'll show you a little bit different angle of the e-bike as we talk about it here. Woo! I mean, look at that massive light. That's a huge, huge light. It is pretty cool. Let's take this a little bit off-road here. Once again, since it's been so crappy, I mean, look, I'm wearing shorts and there's literally snow. And there's some big piles of snow kind of everywhere, but I'm wearing shorts. It's like 65 degrees out and beautiful. Whoa, that was a little muddy right there. I did not expect that. That looks pretty good. Woohoo. No problem whatsoever. Oh yeah. Woohoo. Let's do it. You see my tracks down here. Oh, I'm not turning that. Ah! Now, one thing that is really small about this e-bike that I will highlight is that, you know, it doesn't have the greatest display. I still have the plastic on here, but it doesn't have the greatest, most advanced display. It does have the temperature. I haven't changed it to Fahrenheit, but you can change it to Fahrenheit. Really simple display. It's really easy to read. Pedal assist level, speed. I believe this is your trip. This is my time. The watts, that'll be the watts up there. And that will be the miles from my odometer. Really simple setup. You control with these buttons here. I think I got a great idea. And man, as you can see, it's just a great looking e-bike that looks good. It's fun to ride. And I gotta get some of this dirt off the tires here, but You can see here how my riding position is not exactly perfect. That's okay. It's okay not to be perfect, but this is more of just kind of a cruiser, like pedal when you want to kind of thing. You can see there is enough room maybe for someone else in the back. Depends on how much you like them or how much they like you. But let's go get this mud off the tires and continue to give you some more information. All right, so who is this e-bike for and who is it not for? Let's think about that. So this e-bike will be perfect for someone that just wants to tool around town, look good, have fun doing it. You know, take it to the breweries here in town, maybe do a little bit of trail riding. But this is a kind of a showy, like Harley Davidson-esque version of an e-bike, right? Like, so you could get any other motorcycle, but you get a Harley Davidson because you want a Harley. You know, this bike looks cool. If you're a super serious cycler, don't get this bike because, you know, you can't adjust the seat, so you can't adjust where your feet rest, which is a big deal for, you know, hardcore cyclists. But if you just want a bike for tooling around town, want a nice big bike that just looks good and it's pretty good quality. I really don't have anything negative to say about the quality of Haoqi e-bikes. I've taken their long range dual battery one for a spin, and I mean, it was great. It was a lot of fun. I mean, that one has a range of like over 100 miles. Like I said, this one has a range of about 90 miles, but I have not fully tested it to be able to go 90 miles. I've only used a quarter of the battery, and I've only, you know, been about 8 miles total riding this bike just around town and testing it out for you. What questions do you have about the Haoqi e-bike? Comments, concerns, worries, fears? Let me know in the comments below. I hope to see you again real soon.